I wanted to address very briefly, while I have the time on Thanksgiving, about being a comedian, because a lot of people I've heard secondhand saying, "Oh, a comedian, I don't know if I should, I want somebody serious." Now, if you take away comedy from my resume, you have somebody who was a former prosecutor, who is an eviction prevention attorney, who studied history at Williams College, got his law degree from Georgetown, son of a Haitian immigrant and a blue-collar Irish-American woman. So the kind of resume that one might think is a standard or normal or somewhat appealing political resume. But I don't want to remove comedy from what I am or what I do, because I think the Democratic Party and this race in New Jersey's 11th presents a unique opportunity, not just for new voices, but for capable and strong voices. My 20 years doing stand-up comedy, I would consider that sort of a 20-year small business. And I know if I owned a restaurant, was a manual laborer or something like that, people would sort of never question that, consider that backbone of the American economy, somebody solid, somebody with a good work ethic, and I agree. But being a comedian involves communicating with people. I've never had an agent or manager, so it involves me selling myself constantly. And it was a long, difficult road to achieve any success in comedy. A few TV credits, this and that, but it was really the pandemic where I reached more people and grew an audience, not because I had been handpicked by the comedy industry, but because I just kept at it, kept honing my skills, kept taking Greyhound buses and late night Amtrak trips to save money so that I could profit on poorly paid gigs. And I just stayed at it, and I believed in myself, and I kept accumulating people who believed in what I was saying, how I was saying it, admired the stick-to-itiveness, if you want to call it that. And that's what I want people to think of when they think of me as a comedian, because I don't want to separate myself from that. I want to embrace it, because like any small business owner, the lessons you learn from it, the connections, the communication, the perseverance, that's all present in a comedy career. For me, the skills I've attained as a comedian are only a plus factor to my candidacy. And frankly, they're a plus factor that a lot of the candidates running don't possess. And it's a skill, communication, engagement, growing an audience. That's one of the main things that I think the Democratic Party, the Democratic brand, sorry to use the word brand, but I think that's one of the things that the Democratic Party is in sore need of. So if you separate me from my comedy, I think you'll see somebody who you could still get behind and appreciate what they do and see that I have a lifetime of service and of education and will bring a lot to the table there. But when you add my experience as a comedian and all the things that I've learned and achieved and acquired as skills in that 2-decade pursuit, I think you see that I'm somebody definitely worth voting for and certainly worth giving a chance for by getting me on the ballot. So I hope to see you at one of the many locations over the next 4 days. I know it's a fun holiday weekend, but all it takes is a few minutes out of your day to come talk with me, sign the petition, and I think we can really do some positive things and some interesting things with this campaign. So thank you. Go back to enjoying your holiday, your family. I appreciate you taking time just to watch this, and I hope to see many of you over the next few days and get your signatures.